let me know. I will get you a clamp. Yes.
On a minibus with the manual open, where can you clamp that at the
You can still
bottom?
clamp them at the bottom. So there's a lip in the door. You have to reach underneath there. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but you can still clamp them. Some of the older ones have a bigger block. We just get bigger clamps. But we've got several different sizes. And so we've got some that are kind of like hydraulic operated. They're naturally open, so when you close them, they have a little release. So it doesn't take much effort. But you just got to keep them closed. So that way it keeps these things off. And if you guys, we've talked about it, you see the trash can, it's got paw prints from raccoons. So they're here. There's cats, pretty geese. We've had birds get on the buses when the windows are down. Make sure the windows are up. And keep the critters and the snow off. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out here. So if you need a clamp, see me afterwards and we'll get you one.
Hey, the guys that started the buses I had to like the shower caps on mine. If they can even leave them on there or take them and put it inside, just don't throw them away, because I personally would like them to put it.
Is that what those are, shower caps?
Yes. Especially when you still work on the bigger ones, you can put them.
Unless you get one like Caesar's head.
That's when I ordered when they're big enough.
The other thing too, this morning I saw 3 of them blowing around out here, so I went out and got them. If you guys see them blowing around, that's our trash, whether it came off of your bus or not. If you see it and you can catch it, that's the other thing. Please pick those up because,
I keep them use them again.
yeah, absolutely. But not only that, but people know that we're putting shower caps on there, and if they start seeing them all over the district, they're gonna be like, transportation, and then I'm gonna get called. So just save me a phone call, folks. Pick them up if you see them. Don't write my name on it. Write Caesar's name on it. How much fuel are you supposed to, where are you supposed to keep your fuel tank at?
Half a tank.
Half a tank. I love this. Even our non-CDL or non-drivers even know that. Half a tank. I heard there was some issues with the pump this morning. Did anybody try and fuel this morning that have issues?
I didn't.
Hallelujah. Okay. I think we finally have that fixed. We had some user errors, we've had some pump errors, but hopefully we've got all that fixed. If for some reason you have to get a fuel card to fuel your bus, hopefully we don't have to do that again for a really long time or ever. But if you do, you have to bring us back a receipt. I had our WEX statement, our fuel card statement came in, and we had a receipt for 47 or 49 gallons come through that we could not find. That's money I can't account for, but we have spent somewhere. Now, granted, we are not the only ones that use fuel cards, but at 49 gallons, I'm pretty sure it was a bus. I have an extra big tank on my truck, and I can't hold 49 gallons on my truck. So if you use fuel and you use that card, you have to bring us back a receipt for it. Okay?
Did you ever get back the lost card?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. What time is it, Chris? Do you have your watch?
9:36.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I'm gonna get out of here pretty quick. Life 360, this one I keep in every year as well. If you guys have never heard of it, most kids have this on their phones. Their parents have installed it. It's just to help keep track of where their kids are at. Life 360, I don't know if you, and they're not the only app. This is the one that I personally used when my kids were in high school in Wichita, Kansas. I wanted to know exactly where they were at. I was that mom. And we can see how fast they're driving. I have caught my son, no, I'm not even gonna tell you how fast I've seen him drive his own personal car, and that they can also see how fast you're driving. So if you're on Ridge Road or Maze Road doing 56, I get that phone call too. And they'll screenshot it and send it to me. That can get you fired. That is extreme. We have let people go for their speeds. We can catch it on the film. We got it on your guys' cameras. Please don't be that person. Watch your speeds. They're watching. I have to watch. Tony watches all the time. Just watch, because that stuff will catch you. Is that your cruise?
Well, you're
All right,
too
I'm
good
gonna,
for
Joy, I
He
think.
doesn't run it since we talked, but we just tell him about it.
Okay, cover that one here in a minute. This is a comical one that we saw last year, maybe, we won't say who it was. If you don't see the humor in this, this is a liquor store back here behind the bus. Totally innocent. He just left the school and was checking for kids. He didn't go into the liquor store. It was only 9 in the morning. They weren't open. We checked. One of members, or one of our board members' friends posted this on Facebook. So it had hit social media before we could ever stop it. Be aware where you're parking your bus and getting out of your bus at. Be very, very aware. I had one parked in front of a strip club once. They were checking their bus. Or no, that one they went to the Hardee's across the street, but they couldn't get into the parking lot. So they just parked in front of, they didn't know it was a strip club, but everybody else in the town knew it was a strip club. It was an activity driver in Topeka. They had no clue it was so just be super cautious of where you're parking. I don't want to see this stuff on social media. We will have a conversation.
Well, what if you gotta go to the bathroom?
Then you park at the Wendy's next door or at Sam's and you walk 4
I'm
blocks.
saying I go to Brahms after I drop.
And that's fine. You're not parked in front of a liquor store. All right, Chris, you want it?
All right, I'm gonna turn it over while she goes talk to the big bosses and find out what they're gonna do for the next couple days.
5 to 10.
Before you start,
Yeah.
guys, we're talking about the code red. You guys, all these are on the buses. Kim brought up a great point. Now, disregard the colors, okay? So code red is emergency. 1 is for gun, 2, knife, 3, or fight. So go off of that, not that saying, oh, it's a code red, it's a gun, right? So disregard the colors on these on the buses.
We'll get some correct ones, but that at least gives you an idea what we're doing. Those are magnetic, so you guys can move them where you can see them anywhere on your dash. Radio's gotten better, mostly. If you need to talk and have a conversation, stop and think, is this something that I can wait till after we get done with routes? Is it something that maybe I need to pull over and call, like if you've gotten a mechanical question, like this morning there was one that went on for a little bit, maybe you need to pull over and talk to them on the phone. We can coordinate that, let us know, but just try to keep it to a minimum. There's 2 problems that this causes. One, if I'm trying to get out from because especially in the morning when the phones are getting busy, we're trying to wait. There's 4 people, 5 people in the office waiting on the phone to get to the next, hey, have you picked up so-and-so? So keep them short and sweet. 2, people started turning radios down because they don't want to hear chit-chat. Well, what happens is you forget you turned it down. So now we're calling for you, and your radio's down. So just keep your radios where you can hear it. I get it. There's times where, even in the office, I'll turn mine down a little bit because I'm on the radio or on the phone. So just try to watch what you're saying. Quick call. Came from the military, took me a while. It was you, this is me. This is backwards to me. So if you're bus 4, 42100. Kathy always does the double, that's fine. It just means you can hear, because when you hit that button, it keys to an encryption that goes to the repeater. It's not super encrypted, but it takes about seconds. When you press that button, if you start talking right away, we always miss. Like a lot of you have 2 digits in your bus number. You're always just 1 number, because you hit that button and say, and I'm going to 27. Cinder's notorious for this. She has never been 27. She's always 7.
She's always been 7.
Press that button, wait a second, then start talking. That way we get the full number. That's it. Don't do anything.
Guys, if we don't answer you right away on the radio, especially like in the afternoons, we're on the phones. All right, so if you call us and we don't answer, just be patient. We hear it as we're on the phone and we hear a radio call, and I don't. Sarah's not answering. I'm assuming Sarah's on the phone. We're writing down on my notebook. I'm writing down who's calling in right now. And as soon as we got a phone, we'll respond back. But don't think we're just ignoring you. We're not. We're hearing everything you guys are saying.
At any given time, there's like, minimum, we always have 2 in here. Very rarely does there have 1 in the afternoons if we have like an emergency come up. There's always several people. But yeah, the people are calling in, you guys don't hear the phone ringing because you're out on the bus. But we're on the phones, just be patient. We're not ignoring you. I mean, it might seem like that, but there's just stuff going on. Just keep calling in, just give it a few seconds, wait 30 seconds to a minute, and try calling back. So Justin, who is our tech guy, the guy that he's been coming in a lot more, he's been pretty proactive on coming in and helping out. He will be here Thursday between 9 and 11 with wind chills and the possibility of more snow. If for some reason we don't have school that day, we will reschedule, but he'll be in, right now it's scheduled for this Thursday. If not, we'll reschedule for sometime next week, but he'll come in and help you with anything related to tech. When it comes to Skyward, your email, or if you still have not, if your email's not on, and you have, because you haven't done your cybersecurity, there's a new one. It's on my door. There's only like 7 people left. That's the guy you guys want to talk to, because he can walk you through most of those things. But he'll be here just to help you guys in general. No Crocs. Okay, when you're driving and when you're a para, this is part of our dress code. No open-toed shoes, no flip-flops. You gotta have closed-toed shoes that are secure. And flip-flops, I mean, if you're in the office, somebody likes to wear flip-flops in the office. Have a pair of shoes to change into. Like if I wore them, I don't really care
There
for
are
them.
tennis shoes under my desk at
Yeah.
all times.
I have a pair, like I'll do that when I go, you have a second pair, if you have a pair of socks. But you cannot be on the bus with those. Balloons are not allowed on the bus. It's a distraction, not to mention little allergies.
Loud noise when they pop.
They're, yeah, scare the bejeebers out of you when they pop, and they inevitably will do it at the wrong time, so no balloons. Cell phone policy. As Tony said, don't be on a cell phone. If you are a CDL driver, that's a big no-no, and that's a federal law. Our district does not allow, the state of Kansas does not allow you to use Bluetooth on a big truck. If you're a CDL driver, you can use a Bluetooth. I think they might even have gone away from that. I know they were talking about it, I don't know if it is or not, but when you're in a district vehicle as a CDL driver, do not be on a phone. Yes?
Sorry, I just was reading a newsletter from my other employer, Village, and they were telling, in the newsletter, they said that even if you get a violation in your personal car, they're treating it as a DUI. So like, even if you get a cell phone violation in your personal car, I can no longer drive for them. Or their insurance won't cover me, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, no, it is only, ours wasn't that extreme, but that's, all right, if you're a CDL driver and you're driving your personal vehicle and you get a DUI, you just lost your CDL for 6 months minimum. It doesn't matter who you drive for. Cell phones, there's points for CDLs, a lot of states do them, Kansas doesn't do points. But just know that if it's in your personal car, you can get in trouble for doing things that can affect you in your job. So stay off the phones, that means no Bluetooth. If we need to get a hold of you, like I'll do it where I have my cell phone, if I'm not subbing, I'll turn it towards me so I can see the phone, and I'll see Maze Transportation calling me. I probably forgot to turn my radio up, or they need to get a hold of me for some reason. I won't answer it, but I know I need my next chance to stop, pull over, and secure that vehicle, and then I'll call. Parents, while there's kids on the bus, you don't need to be on the phone. If we call you from and you see the office number, you can answer that because it's something to do with your students. Okay, like Tony said, don't be on there on Facebook and whatever else people use nowadays.
So, Chris, are we no longer able to use our GPS then on our phones to help us?
Yes, because you're not using it as the phone, you're using it as the GPS. Yes, those are, because you're not using it as a phone, you're using it as a GPS at that point. Yes.
Can we use Google Translate if we have a kid that doesn't speak English too much?
Yes, just let us know ahead of time. Like, now that you said that, I know that, because yes, Google Translate for you guys, if you have students that have different ones. If you tell us beforehand what you're doing, that makes sense. I wouldn't have thought about that, but yes, that's a great point. So yes, you can use them for work-related stuff. Don't be on there browsing social media, shopping for Amazon. Don't be on there playing, what is it, Candy Crush. That's what you do now.
Kind of good thing is set it and forget it.
Yeah, that's a good, set it and forget it. If it's something you can set it and forget it, like a translator, you might have to hold it close, but if it's a GPS, you can get the mounts.
If you're a parent.
And you can put your GPS in there. A lot of our activity drivers do that. Let's see, yeah, there's fines.
You want to clarify Bluetooth usage on that?
You are not to use Bluetooth
In other words,
as a phone.
so
If you're
if you're driving your car and your phone is connected to your car, Bluetooth, that's not the same thing. You just press the button on either the steering wheel or
Yeah, no, that's in a school vehicle.
yeah.
You don't,
For the watches, you can't answer your watch?
No, it's Bluetooth.
that's no different than looking at a message on your phone. Same thing.
Guys, if you're behind the wheel, stay off the phone. How about that? So if you're,
If you're, that includes
stay off
telling me,
your phone. Don't answer it.
if
Don't
you've got your
talk
phone
while
where you're looking at it, where you can see somebody's calling, like I said I do, but I'm not using it as a phone. If you've got your watch on and you're using it to see who's there, then yeah, but if you're don't answer it. So, yes, sir.
My previous company, I had a driver, he just grabbed his phone to see what time was it, and he got a $250 fine
Yep.
for having a handheld electronic in his
Because you
hand.
gotta justify that to the police
He wasn't using the
officer if they
phone.
pull you over.
He wasn't using the phone, he was just looking at the time, and they gave him a ticket, $250 ticket.
Because
for
it's your word versus that officer, so yes, if you were to do that, that would happen.
It's still using and it's still distracting you
Yeah.
from what's in front of you.
So just use common sense, I would like to say. All right, moving on. Mailboxes. Mailboxes, make sure you check them. We're going to be going through those this week sometime, maybe next week, depending on how much we're here. May get them back in order. We're going to try to make sure everybody's got up to date. They have a box. If you do not have a mailbox, you do. Is that you still? See Sarah, we'll get you a box. I know I've got a couple, I gotta add power cords for tablets and scanners. We will get those done. So if you need something else, just see Sarah when it comes to mailboxes. Yeah, remember you're not allowed to have decorations on the outside of your bus, in your windows, surrounding the driver, hanging on your bus, on the doghouse. You can get ticketed for that. Those little static flames, just don't impede your view. And nothing hanging, like those things like that, we'll put stuff like that on the bus. Highway Patrol has a real fit about that. Guardians need to make sure and clean up after your kids in the break room. We're not maids, wash their dishes and pick up the toys after them. We have a dog that does that, so. Oh, men's bathroom, put the trash can underneath the barrel, and somehow every day, there's like 2 or 3 wads of paper over by the door that goes to the little closet. So somebody's doing that intentionally. If I find out who it is, they're really not gonna like it. The trash can is right there. Paper towel holder. If you didn't get the text message from either Kathy, that one's from her personally, that she does that, so just see her. The one that comes through Skyward, the mass email, it'll say something like Skyward on there. If you're not getting that, get on Skyward and just check your personnel information, Skyward Finance, make sure they have your correct number. I never get the text messages. I get the phone calls all the time. So as long as you get one of the two, but they have my correct information. It's never changed the entire time I've been here. I still don't get text messages. The hallway is blocked off, no one gets through, so like, don't stand in doorways and have a conversation. You guys like to do that right there? Okay, keep this area clear. It drives me nuts. It's a military thing. You don't stand in the doorways. One blocks the path, and then just don't stand there. Get out of the way of people. Make sure you continue to do your fluid checks. You're not marking them on the inspection sheet. Make sure you mark them if you do them. That way you know, and if you're not doing them, do them. You're required.
But so everything else on the inspection sheet, we only mark if it's bad.
That one, the weekly inspections, the weekly fluid.
Everything else, we don't mark unless it's bad.
Right, yeah. You
supposed to
need to mark that you did the fluid check, because if you don't physically mark it, we're gonna assume you didn't do it.
Okay, but by the form, the form says if we don't mark it, we did it, because it says every day,
Did you change?
just like everything else.
Yeah, the form has changed, there's no date at the bottom that says you actually did it.
So
Yeah.
it's back up at the top for you to check mark it, because we put back in the line where your next, oil change is back down at the bottom. So yeah, it did get changed again. But even if you just write out to the side what date you did your fluid check, as long as we have proof you did it. But if there's no check mark or no dates on there or something, we're just assuming you're not doing it.
Put your initials and the shortened, like 217, just write that somewhere by that fluid check so that you know it. Slow down going into the parking lot, that's not being very bad. We've had several, and you guys see them, the teachers have been really bad about going in this side lately and going straight back to the field. But if you see them, call into control and let us know, and I'll go have a conversation with them. Do not pass other buses. Hey, that's me. I don't have anything here about crossing. Parts of the tablet holders, the little clamps, I mean, these things rattle, they're mounted on plastic, so if you guys lose a screw or a nut, something that holds the little teeth or feet, whatever you want to call them for the tablet holders, if you lose those pieces, just let us know. We got a whole, we have plenty extras, and then we got parts that have fallen out, and we collect them. So if you guys see the black screw or a black nut or the part of the clamp or the tablet holder, just bring them into me, or if you see Caesar or Austin, give them to them. If you have something needs to be fixed on that, just let us know. I got more tablets on order. We got 10 more because we're adding routes. We've got new people in, new subs. They are on order. I don't know when they're going to be in yet, but hopefully the next week or two. Clamp the doors. Make sure you guys are plugging in. If you've got a diesel vehicle, even if it's a minibus, if it's got a cord out on the minibuses, it's a cord sticking out the front. On the big buses, it's down there by the door. There's a plug for it. Make sure you plug in your buses when it's cold, which is going to be for the next foreseeable future. The summer jobs, just to go back to those, it's $12 an hour this year. So just so you guys know ahead of time, we try to do it where you got your normal wage for this, but they're not going to do that because it's not fair because nobody else was able to do that. I'm sorry. But it's $12 an hour, which was $10 last year, so it's at least a little improvement. But if you guys want time, want hours over the summer with cleaning, and that goes for the paint crews and the cleaning crews that are out to schools, so they're all $12 an hour. That's it for what I got. Sarah?
I expect that out of my own kid, not in case you guys didn't see, there's 3 cards up here since 3 of the schools contributed to breakfast. And I think the sign-up sheet's going around somewhere. So when you guys get done with it, we'll just stick it back up here along with the book in case you guys haven't gotten signed up from the last couple months. If you've noticed, the signs that we've had for the defensive driving and first aid classes coming up has kind of changed a little bit. We took some names off. We discovered that a class from a couple years ago didn't have the right expiration dates on it, and I think I found another mistake on a set of classes. So if you think you shouldn't be on this list, if you're positive you don't belong on this list, let me know. We'll look it up. We'll double check the dates. Because yeah, we had that class that was supposed to be a 3-year expiration, and it was written down as a 2-year, so we got it fixed. The other thing I've got, I kind of revamped the bus driver favorites sheet. I know some of you may have not filled one of these out for a long time, but we included the paras on it, just because Christmas time, into the school year, parents call and say, hey, we want to get a treat for our bus driver and the para. What do they like? You know, we can give them ideas off of this. So I'll stick these over here on the table. If you guys haven't ever filled one out or you want to update it and we'll get it into your file so we can give ideas for people. And you know, Sarah might want to buy Leah something. Maybe not. I don't know. You know, that way if you guys want to buy something for each other or birthdays, you know, if you want to buy your best friend something for their birthday, you can do that. But yeah, it includes paras now, so didn't want to leave you guys out. The only other thing I really have is, it doesn't matter if you drive a shuttle bus, if you drive a van for your route, or whatever it is, you guys gotta do the fluid checks. Caitlin's just learned how to get all those into the system, and there were a lot missing, weren't there? Yeah. So, I know we've switched it around a couple times, so the most current sheet is what's out there. You may have old versions. At this point, I don't care what version you're using, as long as you're marking that you've done them. This version has the fluid check spot up at the top where you can just check mark. You can write out over here on the dates, write down the dates you do it. A lot of you guys just draw lines, but sometimes that line's not telling me you actually really did it. It just means to me that okay, yeah, I did it, I'm just drawing lines. I don't know, I have my opinions on that, but whatever. You don't even have to draw a line, just mark no defects. If nothing was wrong with your bus, just mark no defects. But something needs to give us an indication that you actually checked the fluids.
You want us to initial it?
Initial it, write the date, put a check mark on this line when you've done it. Cause, I don't know, I could go on and on forever about that, I guess, but yeah, make sure you're doing these and turning them in. We still have at least 4 or so, 5 maybe, on the door here to the break room. There's no signatures, there may not be a bus number or a date. I need to figure out where they belong so we get them on record, because we have to have these. When they do our audit, they can pull records for, Dewey's bus, and if he missed one week, we need to know why. Was his bus down? Was he gone that week? Did he have a sub? Did that sub not do one? They have to be done, because stuff starts getting expensive when you guys aren't checking your fluids, and we end up with vehicles 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 over on oil changes, or you don't know that you don't have any radiator fluid because you didn't do any fluid checks, and you're out on the road overheating on the highway somewhere, broke down. It's something really simple that can save a whole lot of money and a whole lot of headache for the mechanics, and can save us a lot of hassle when it comes on time too. So, I think that's really all I got. Yes?
I was in bus 18, and if there's gonna be drivers driving spare buses, if you find something wrong with the bus, can you write it up? Bus
Yes.
18 I don't know when that bus was ever written up. We had so many problems with it. I wrote up a bunch of stuff on one, but it's like, if you see something wrong with a bus, write it up.
Yeah, because it was like that the last time.
Normally will drive it.
Yeah, and when you do these inspection sheets, if you find something wrong, like if somebody had been in 18, if they'd done their inspection sheet, don't write up its problems on here. I mean, if you make a note of it, fine, but you still have to write up a work order for them. Yeah, it might be overdue for an oil change, or it might need something else done. Write up a work order for it.
Guys, on that line too, if you, when you're pre-tripping your buses, I don't care if you're an activity driver or route driver, if you see something outside of your bus, a dent, a scratch, the mirror's turned, something's broken outside, write it up. Because what happens, if you guys don't know, is at night, some of your buses, if Deb runs out of activity buses, some of your buses are being used for trips. And then what happens is we get that driver coming back saying, guess what, I just noticed this whole back bumper's bashed in. And then we come to you, it's like, well, it wasn't there, and this driver says, I didn't do it. So now we're stuck in between, well, what happened and who did it? And then I'm stuck doing 10 hours of video trying to find out who did it, you know what I mean? So if it's for your protection. If you go around your bus and you see something that wasn't there the day before, man, write it up, because you're protecting yourself, because we had it over in Hutch, something happened, and it's just tough, because then it's like, I didn't do it, well, somewhere in these 5 hours, something happened, right? So if you see something outside, please let somebody know, write it up. Just like you're renting a car from Enterprise, write it up and say, this is what I saw on my bus.
Yep. But yeah, if you have any questions on them, get with me, Chris, Caitlin, any of us. If you don't understand how to do them, got a question about them, let us know.
Yeah, if you guys need help with something you don't know how to get to, you don't feel safe or comfortable doing something, get with a trainer or call the mechanics that can come help you guys. Deb, be nice.
So, just to touch a little bit on what he was saying, we did have a couple of situations where, you know, someone's running late and we send someone else out to pre-check the bus, and then something happens in between the morning and the afternoon pre-checks that we don't know. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're both on the hook for it. The person that did the pre-check and the person that took the bus, because at that point, until we can find out, you're both. So, one of the big things too is our sub-drivers, some have done amazing, and some are still not turning in their mileage, what bus they're driving, and stuff like that. You guys have to do that. It is mandatory by the state. We do get audited on it. I understand it's frustrating to have to jump from bus to bus to bus, but you gotta do it. As far as fluid checks, pre-trips, that kind of thing, we're gonna start really getting on you guys, because we've got a couple that are saying, oh yeah, we're doing this. And then we drive off with shower caps on our mirror. Tell me you did your pre-check if you have shower caps on your mirror and you don't realize it.
Good point.
But you signed off that you did your pre-check. So, let's do our pre-checks, guys. Simple little mistakes like that is what's gonna get you caught. Also, for our activity drivers especially, oh man, the brain just went. Yeah, they need to do theirs, but they've been doing them. They've been pretty good as far as that goes. Yeah, I cannot remember, so if it comes back to me, I'll come back to it. But otherwise, you guys have been doing pretty good, so, like I said, it will start coming twofold on you guys. We will start catching you. We will, and, oh, that's what it was. For those of you who are using the white fleet and activities and stuff like that, we have gotten some of our vehicles back trashed. So yes, we tell the bus drivers, hey, that's your guys' responsibility to clean it up. It's actually the team's responsibility. But you need to make sure that you have that team clean it before they get off the bus. Now, the white fleet, what we're doing now is documenting it. We're taking photos, and the first time, we send a warning. The second time, the school needs to come over and clean it, that team. Third time, they're not allowed to use our white fleet anymore.